Hey everybody, if you're looking to make a crown like this and you want a step-by-step guide on how to do so, this video is for you. Instead of paying the market rate, which is currently as of the time of this video of like, let's say 80 divine or so to make something kind of similar, I want to teach you the step-by-step process I use to make mine so that you can save a couple bucks, make a stronger character, and also make yours. So step-by-step, plain English, here we go. The first step in the process is getting the base for the Archdemon crown, so we're going to want to either do ritual content or just go to the trade site and look for at least an item level 82 helmet. I'm going to grab 84 just to be safe, so to do so, hit the trade site, and this is the process. We're going to type in the word Archdemon crown, Archdemon comes up, that's our +2 base. As far as filters go, we can close all this out, we don't need this. I just want to get item level 80, at least 82, but we'll go for 84 just in case, because it does give us access to tier 1 resistances if for some reason we just don't hit the way that we want. And it is going to go for about 90 chaos on these, so let's go ahead and hit a couple and see if anybody wants to respond. Perfect. Who was the first guy? Got it. Nice. So we're going for 90 C on this. Good. Now that we got the Archdemon crown that is at least item level 82, the next step is either using Faustus, trading for an Elder's Exalted Orb, or fighting the Elder to get your hands on it. So let's go ahead and grab one of those. I'm going to use Faustus for this because it's just so damn convenient. So I'm going to go to, what do I want? I want to type in the word Elder. So Elder's Exalted Orb. It's going to add an Elder influence to an item. I'm going to use this with Chaos Orbs. So it's going to cost me 61 Chaos so far. So at the moment, we're in for about 120 C, 120 Chaos. And if for some reason you're trying to apply the Elder's Exalted Orb and it doesn't work, hold Alt to make sure that you have an open modifier available. In this case, there's one prefix open. So we're going to right click on this sucker and apply the Archdemon crown with the Elder influence now. That is step 2. 1, we grabbed the crown. Step 2, we made the Archdemon crown Elder base. Now, we're going to take this to the Hoarder crafting station for step 3, and we're going to try to reforge fire on this as much as we can using this wild crystallized life force. Now, we're going to use fire because fire is going to give us the level 20 burn and exactly one other influence modifier. So let's keep hitting this until we get 20 burn damage. Do we actually get it in one? That is crazy. Okay, so we didn't hit a second Elder mod, so we do want to hit a 2 Elder mod items. So level 20 burn damage is where we want to start, and one other influenced mod which we didn't hit, so we go again. Okay, so in this case we hit level 20 burn damage and level 16 minion damage. As you can see, they both say of the Elder. That's how we know it has 2 Elder mods. Unfortunately, in this case, it did hit us a 3rd Elder mod. So if I press Alt, I can actually see here, you'll notice that it has the prefix, the Elder's maximum mana. It also has minion damage, and then it has the burn damage that we want. It's actually kind of perfect. And in this case, I could use an annulment orb to try to just get really lucky and remove one modifier off this helmet so it can be the base that I want. Remember that the goal here is we're elevating the burn damage to level 25. So we're going to push up the modifier that we want because it is the best modifier on the item. And so we don't want any conflicting issues with this. We just want to push in the highest modifier being burn damage. So I'm going to use an annulment orb and let's see if we get there. You don't have to do this. You can keep re-rolling fire if you want to. By doing that, you'll eventually have an outcome that is a 20 burn damage and only one other influenced modifier on the item, which is what you want. So let's check this out. Do we get lucky with our annul? We want to get rid of that maximum mana. If you look again, the prefix modifier is the Elder's max mana, 11%. So we hit this and we got, unfortunately, we still have that mana mod. So we want to get rid of that. We have basically a few more attempts to hit this sucker. And we still have mana. We still have minion burn damage. We're going to null again. And bingo. So now we have Elder tier 3, which is the minion, and tier 1 Elder burn damage. Perfect. And it's 17 intelligence on the helmet. So far, so good. On to the next step. Once we've got the modifiers that we're looking for, we're going to go ahead and obtain an Orb of Dominance, which is quite expensive. This is where we get into the divine conversation. You can spend multiple divines crafting this, but it's not going to cost you 80 divines to get your hands on it. But let's go check this out at Faustus. We're going to grab one. So talking to Faustus, the currency exchange, I want to get something. I'm going to type in the word Dom, Orb of Dominance, right? Orb of Dominance. Okay, and Orb of Dominance is sitting right here. So if I click on this, I'm going to use divines to purchase this because that's just the way it goes. It's currently 6.67 divines. So it might make more sense to use the trade site instead of the interface. I might be able to get one for a little bit less. Of Dominance, okay, I want to grab this here, hit search. And this is going to cost me about 6. This is listed 2 days ago, 6.3, 6.4. Okay, 6.3 divines. So hit 6. We know it's about 65, 20, 40, 60. Hold shift, press 5. Perfect. Let's trade this. Now that we have Orb of Dominance and we have the Elder base Archdemon crown with 20 burn damage and one other influence modifier, we're going to use the Orb of Dominance. So we right-click Orb of Dominance, and it's going to remove one influence modifier from an item with at least 2 influence modifiers and upgrades another influence modifier. Upgrading a modifier of the highest tier transforms the modifier into an elevated mod. So that's the part that's important. It's going to upgrade a modifier of the highest tier. So, hey you guys, quick editor's note here. So when you use the Orb of Dominance to elevate one of the modifiers on your Archdemon crown, let's say burn damage from 20 to 25, or trap and mind damage to 20 to 25, I tell you in the video that it's guaranteed to take the highest modifier and elevate it. That's been my personal experience every time I've done it. I've never had it not go that way. Turns out in Path of Exile 1 that it will elevate randomly one of the 2 modifiers. So understand that when you're doing this, it's a bit of a 50-50 shot. I want you to know this. I pulled the video. This is me re-uploading it. I absolutely want to make sure that the standard of excellence on these crafting guides is as sublime as possible. And thank you for your feedback on the original video. This should help people make sure that you guys now know it's not a guaranteed thing. It's about a 50-50 shot to do it. So Orb of Dominance, we want to upgrade burn damage, trap, and mind damage, and then we continue with the crafting process. Had to get this accurate. Wanted to make sure you guys got what was as correct as possible. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of the video. We know that we have 20 burn damage. When we use this, bingo. Now we have level 25 burn damage and 24 intelligence and 35 burn damage is how it rolled. So if you hold Alt, there's a bit of a range there. It currently rolled the highest that it could. On to the next step. The next step in the process is getting our hands on a Shaper influenced helmet. And we want to make sure that the Shaper influenced helmet that we have has level 20 trap and mind damage and one other influence modifier. So we can kind of do what we just did. So you can use the trade site if you want to. So checking this out, this is sort of what the filters are going to look like. We're looking for any helmet that's not unique, that has the pseudo influencer of Shaper influence, which is what we need. And then we're looking for socketed gems are supported by trap and mind damage level 20. And we do a search like that, we come back, it's about 40 chaos if we're lucky, or about 50. So let's go ahead and ping a few people, see what we get. Okay, awesome. So we got one. It's going to cost me 90 chaos, which is about 40 more than I was hoping to spend, but that's okay. We're far under the purchase price. Let's continue. Okay, now the next step in the process is pretty interesting. You want to make sure that you have a similar helmet to what we just had previously with this Archdemon Elder Crown. You want to have, because we're going to use Orb of Dominance, 2 influence modifiers where trap and mind damage is the higher modifier to elevate that, okay? In addition, you want to make sure that all your suffixes are full. So if I press Alt, you can see that I have suffix 1, suffix 2, suffix 3, I have an open prefix. So on this helmet, level 2 shaping is going to be mana, which we had before. We don't want that. It's not going to matter. It's going to get eroded. Our level 1 suffix of shaping is actually the trap and mind damage. So when we use another Orb of Dominance, it's going to elevate trap and mind damage to 25. And now the helmet's starting to take shape. Let's go to the next step. We're going to be using an Orb of Dominance on our Shaper helmet here to try to elevate trap and mind damage to 25 so that we have our Elder base, which has level 25 burn damage, and then we're going to have level 25 trap and mind damage in about 2 seconds. It's going to be quite expensive, more divines, but here we go. Let's use Faustus to save ourselves some time. Using Faustus, we're going to go ahead and control left click. I want Orb of Dominance, so Orb of Dom, right? Dommy, here we go. Fantastic. Orb of Dominance, thank you. And I certainly have some divines, so I'm going to pay it a 7. I'm going to overpay here. And again, I could use the trade site, but because I'm doing this for a video for you guys, I'm going to eat the cost. Use the trade site, keep it cheap, don't overpay when you don't have to. Or you could also just do the fight. So Orb of Dominance, 7 div, perfect, grab it. That's my Orb of Dominance, done deal. Now that we have our Orb of Dominance, we're going to right-click it and apply this to our pig-faced bassinet because it has, make sure you press Alt, it has 2 of shaping modifiers, which is perfect, and the highest tier modifier is the trap and mind damage because it's level 20, and if you look at of shaping, it's tier 2 mana. So we hit this with the Orb of Dominance, bingo. Level 25 trap and mind damage support. Looking good so far. Now, it's on to the next step. We're going to be using something called an Awakener's Orb. So we're going to be applying the influence of the Shaper to the influence of the Elder. And that's how you get a helmet that kind of looks like this, with the dual influences. You've got Shaper on the left, Elder on the right, and that's because the Awakener Orb lets you do that. So here we go. Using Faustus again, I'm going to go ahead and grab an Awakener's Orb, and you'll see it's kind of pricey, right? So type in the word Awake, Awakener's Orb, perfect, and I have Divine. It's going for about 3.7, so I'll give 4 Divine for this, and let's buy that. Okay. So let's go ahead and read the Awakener's Orb so we understand what's going on. It's going to destroy an item, applying its influence to another of the same item class, in this case helmet. The second item is reforged as rare with both influence types and new modifiers. So here we go. We right-click on the Awakener's Orb and we click on Pig Face Bassinet. Then we apply it to the Archdemon Crown. And now that you've done that, you've elevated both of the modifiers that you use with your Orb of Dominance to create a dual influenced Archdemon crown. And now if we stop right here, just taking a peek at what we've got, and you just evaluate, remember, we're several divines in, we took a few risks, spent a lot of chaos. What are we looking at so far? 25 burn damage, trap and mind damage support bonuses, plus the helmet base type. If we look at just what this is already, 37 to 45 divine. We're not finished yet. We're just kind of going through the process, but we're profitable. As long as you understand the steps, you can use this to flip. But let's not do that. We're using this to make your character strong. On to the next step. And we're going to be using something called a Wild Bristle Matron that we already looked at. And we're going to use Veiled Chaos Orbs on this. So let me show you what happens. Take our helmet, drop it in the altar after we use that Bristle Matron that we already loaded up. I'm typing the word Matron, and we're going to add a crafted meta modifier to a non-unique item. I'm going to show you what happens. You do have to fight the Bristle Matron, so let's make sure we're strong enough to do so. And after combat, we take from the Blood Altar, suffixes cannot be changed. Holding Alt, you're going to see that the suffixes cannot be changed on the items. So we have Trap and Mind damage, Burn damage, and Stun Block Recovery, which is sort of unfortunate, but that is what it is. Okay, I could YOLO annul and try to get that out of there, but I'm not that brave, and we're not doing that in this video. Now the suffixes can't be changed, we're going to use a Veiled Chaos Orb. Let's go check out that step. And this is a Veiled Chaos Orb. If I press Control D here, they go for about 20 chaos. So I'm going to grab one of these, and remember that currently our suffixes cannot be changed. So when we add a Veiled Chaos Orb, let's see what happens. So now we have this kind of interesting language. Now that's what Syndicate does. It's going to add a dual modifier for it. So now that that's added, we're going to block, PDR, and focus on our benchcraft. So let's check out the next step. It's a prefix modifier that says additional physical damage reduction while focused. We're adding this now, super cheap, doesn't matter. We're adding this thing now so that we can get rid of it later. It's a benchcraft. We're blocking this so that it can't be used in our craft. So the next step after we do this is a loop. We're going to keep hitting this until we get +2 to socketed gems. If we can get +2 socketed gems, we're good. If we don't hit this, that we want the +2, we have to go back and we have to, again, Matron to say suffixes can't be changed. Then we go ahead and run this again. We're just going to keep doing this loop. So let's find out and see what happens. I'm going to right click to unveil it. Unveil, what do we get? Okay, so we got +2 level of socketed projectile gems. That's not what I want. I've also got increased armor and energy shield, 20 life. That's actually not what I'm looking for. So let's go ahead and fix this. We're going to grab one of those choices that didn't matter. It's not what we wanted. The next step we're going to do is take this helmet back to the crafting bench, and we're going to go ahead and remove crafted modifier. So we're going to get rid of that additional physical damage reduction while focused. Perfect. Let's take that out of there. Done. Now we're going to take this back with the Bristle Matron recipe, and we're going to add that meta mod of suffixes cannot be changed. Now that suffixes can't be changed, I can use an Annulment Orb, and the Annulment Orb is going to pull off of that Tier 1 life. So we use the Annulment Orb. Then we add a Veiled Chaos modifier. With our Veiled Chaos Orb, we right click and add it. Then we benchcraft. Bring this in, type in the word focus. We're going to block physical damage reduction while focused, super cheap. Use alterations for this. That's our benchcraft. And then we unveil, trying to hit +2 AoE. Right click, let's unveil. We've got +2 level of socketed melee gems with 0.2 meters, not what we want. And this is the process. We're going to recycle this with Bristle Matrons until we actually get the +2 that we want, and then we're looking really good. So let's continue.
Prove to the first ones you are worthy, exile.
Die quickly.
The ritual is complete.
So after a few runs through the zoo, you can see you finally get +2 level of all socketed AoE gems, which is what we're looking for. That's the one that we're going to select. We hit confirm. And now this is what our helmet looks like. +2 level of socketed AoE gems. It's got 25 burn damage, 25 trap and mine damage. It's got the mine burn area of effect because that's everything that we get from the craft so far. The final thing to do is remove the additional physical damage while focused and turn that into something that we actually want. If you hold Alt, you're going to see you're still going to have an additional few prefixes open where you could Exalt Slam that if you want to try to force huge T1 life. So that might be the next step. Let's give that a shot. Drag this in. We're going to choose to remove crafted mods, which is fantastic. One more scour. Done deal. And now I could just bench craft life if I wanted to, but if I check out the helmet, I know that I could probably just slam in life if I block mana. Looking at the item weights on helmets, let's check that out. I'm gonna go to the modifiers here. So PoE-DB.TW is amazing. Control F looking for helmets. HELM helmets. So we're looking for, look at the base type helmet that you have. It is armor energy shield. So strength int, which is be our second last one from the right, strength int helmet. What are the modifiers that could be on that helmet? If you look and see life, mana, armor energy shield, all that stuff, the weights on a helmet like that, it's very, very frequent that we're going to be hitting mana before we ever hit life at the huge weight of 24%. And so I would expect that if I blocked mana, so I would bench craft mana. I'll show you that right now. If I decided to go in here with the helmet and I said, okay, I'm going to add in mana, right? If I add some amount of mana as a bench craft, the lowest amount possible because I don't care about that, right? And then I use an Exalted Orb to add another modifier to it, I would expect that I hit life. But let's check this out for a second because maybe the conversation's a little bit different. Remember that this is general modifiers of prefixes. And the reason we're focusing on prefixes only is if you press Alt, all of your suffixes are full. Okay? The only things that are not full is one prefix modifier because we've bench crafted, blocked one, and left one to be available. So we're relying on the percentage game here. We might not hit, and that's okay. It would be ideal if we did, but if we don't hit, that's fine. Let's check out the difference though. This is the sneaky one. So we don't just have a regular helmet, do we? We actually have an Elder and a Shaper helmet. So check out the weights on this too. Socketed gems are supported by increased area of effect. That'd be kind of nice to hit. And then also, what is the Elder prefix that we could hit? There's quite a few, and the weights look like socketed gems are supported by concentrated effect, which would be kind of nice. Hopefully we hit life or something that we actually want that's kind of advantageous for us. We're going to use an Exalted Orb next and push this helmet. So let's go. Let's just see what happens. We've blocked mana. We're going to go to our stash, grab an Exalted Orb, and hit it. And we got 82 life. Not too bad. And now that we have 82 life, we kind of roll the dice one more time because we're going to take away that crafted mod, and that's going to leave open one more Exalted Orb slot. And if we're lucky, we'll hit something like Concentrated Effect, or we'll hit like Increased Area of Effect, something like that. Let's see how we do. The final step, take this helmet on over, bring it to your crafting bench, remove. Again, we're going to remove that crafted prefix, or crafted mod, excuse me, that we added, because we don't care about mana. And then we Exalt Slam just one more time. So, let's hit it. And we got increased rarity. That's not what we were hoping for. Based off the weights, it would have been nice to hit something else, but that's okay. After we hit the life that we were supposed to, we actually didn't hit mana, so this helmet's kind of cool. Let's check this out. Control D using Awaken PoE Trade, and let's take a little taste test to see what's going on out there. So, socketed AoE gems, we hit that. Based off the helmet, we have the socketed, we have the burn damage, we've got rarity, which we're not going to look for just off the hop. We have mine damage, burn damage, stun block recovery is unfortunate for us. That looks like we're going to hit somewhere north of 60 to 90 divine. I hope this video helps you make an elevated Archdemon crown for your Righteous Fire character or something similar. You could do the same process as now you understand how to elevate modifiers using Dominance Orbs. You know how to slam together influences with Awakener's Orbs. And now you know how to like teach the game what time it is. One more thing we should do is take a look at the base. We have to make this nice and pretty for ourselves so we can use this with our fire trap support, in my case in particular. So we do have 3 sockets. The quality's not done. I'm going to use Armorer's Scraps. I'm going to set that to 20% because that's the limit at the moment. And then I do have to hit 2 green sockets, a blue and a red, because that's what I'm looking for fire trap in my build. So we're going to socket juggle. I'm going to go to my crafting bench. I'm going to go ahead and just Control left click, put the helmet in there so I don't drag it and drop it accidentally. Sockets, okay? Type in the word sockets. I'm going to set this down to 2 sockets if I wanted to. In this case, I will just to make it simple. Then I'm going to type in the word green, okay? At least 2 green sockets for 25 chromes. Control left click. Now I've got the difficult colors to hit on my armor energy shield base because green's dexterity. The helmet doesn't want to roll that. It wants to roll armor and then it wants to roll blue. So because I know it wants to roll red and blue, all I have to do next is socket juggle. I'll go to sockets, type in the word sockets, excuse me, and then I'm going to go ahead and give it 3 sockets, which gives me a red. 4th socket gives me a red. Not what I want, not a big deal. I press Control left click, go back down to 3 sockets, back to 4, and I'm not getting that blue yet, and that's okay. Eventually I will. It's called socket juggling. It's going to force these colored sockets to produce something that may be the same, may be different. It randomly rolls it. Okay, now that we're done, we're going to use some Orbs of Fusing over here, connect all these bad boys, and we now have a helmet that we can use as an upgrade. Now, I would say, for me, I currently hit Concentrated Effect, and now you know how, right? When I got that roll, it came up with Concentrated Effect, which is pretty cool. Now, I did get mana on mine, so it wasn't so great. Would I use this helmet as a replacement? I'll put it in Path to Building to see if it's better. But one of these helmets is going to get sold, and I'm going to mitigate my loss, or maybe make a profit, and just keep upgrading the versions of my gear, and whatever is better than the last one, I wear. And the other one that I'm not going to use anymore, I sell. And this is how we stay profitable, this is how we get stronger, and this is how we craft an intermediate Archdemon crown like this. Hope the video helped. See you on the next one.